Microsoft Loop is described as an online collaboration platform. It's a great space to co-create, work on projects, make shared notes, and more. It was originally announced back in 2021, and we've seen smaller versions of Loop within Teams, but back in March 2023, the web version of Loop went into public preview, so we're going to take a look. This is my Loop homepage, and these are my workspaces that I've created. They're ordered by those that I've most recently worked on, but you can also favourite workspaces. So if you click on the three dots and press favourite, you can have a collection of your favourite ones here. As well as favouriting, you also have some other options here. So you can open your workspace in a new tab, rename or restyle it, add other staff members to work on the workspace, or delete it entirely. If you're on a shared workspace, you'll also see an option to leave that workspace and remove your access to it. Additionally, on your Loop homepage, you have a search function here, so you can search through your workspaces, and you also have different layout options. So now we're going to take a look at the workspaces themselves, and we're going to create a new one. So to do this, we would use this purple plus icon here. With each workspace, you can choose a cover photo, so you can press to update that. There's a couple of different options available, but no custom uploads at this stage. You can also use this button to give your workspace an emoji. And lastly, give your workspace a title and click create. So this is our workspace, and within your workspace, you have pages, so you can have multiple pages. And we're going to start by exploring this sidebar to the left. First up, if you'd like to go back to the Loop homepage and see all your workspaces, you can click on the Loop logo here. And now you can see my new workspace that we just created has appeared. Another way to change between workspaces is this drop down where your current workspace title is. So you can see all my other workspaces, and you can also go back to the home page using the Browse All Workspaces button. Additionally, you can also create new workspaces from here. Back at the top of the sidebar, we have this little bell icon. This will show all your Loop notifications. If you've been assigned tasks or invited to someone else's workspace, that will all appear here. Next to this, you have the search function. So again, you can search through your Loop pages. And then next to this is the option to close this sidebar. Next, you have your recent pages. So this will show you a list of your recently accessed and worked on pages. And then you have ideas. And this is a space for you to put your ideas that you may not want in your main workspace yet. You can view your ideas regardless of what workspace you are using. And what's great about it is if, for example, you're in a shared workspace, you can use ideas to make your page without anyone else seeing the work. And then you can add your finished page to a workspace and share it with those in the workspace. So you can see here, I've now added this test idea to this workspace. Now I've finished working on it. So below ideas, I've already shown that you can switch workspaces here. Below the title, you'll see workspace members. So you can click on this to see who is a member of the workspace. You can also invite other members here as well. Across from this, you have some options to organise your pages. So whether you want to organise them by hierarchy or by activity, so which one was last opened. And then this purple plus button is the option to add more pages or links to your workspace. Lastly, on the sidebar, we have our list of pages within the workspace, and you can see that currently I am active on this page. If you had other members in the workspace and they were using this page, their faces would also appear here. For each page, you also have some more options. So this includes creating subpages, opening the page in a new tab, getting a share link for that page, renaming and restyling the page, and deleting it. So for now, we'll hide that window, and we're going to look at the bottom of our page to show you some of the handy templates you can use. So each new workspace will give you a selection of templates that you can choose from. So we've got project brief, project planning, brainstorming, all sorts of different templates for your business. And if you select a template and press use this template, it will insert the template for you without any content, so you can just fill it in. However, I'm going to add another blank page just so I can walk you through how to build your own. So to start with, you can give each page its own colour photo and its own emoji. Here you can type in a page title. So I'm going to put meeting notes for this one. And then it's all up to you. So you can start typing, but you can also add different formatted content to this page. And to do this, you use the / on your keyboard, and this will bring up a list of options. So we'll go through a couple of these. So headings, if I, for example, use heading 2, you can see it's different to the basic text you use. If I were to insert a table, you can see it adds 2 columns as standard. You can add more columns. You can move your columns around. You can delete columns. You can obviously add more rows as well. And you can also edit them. So you can change the column type. You can change the way that they are sorted. You can obviously insert columns and rows this way as well. And you can rename the columns. Checklist. So this will insert a little checkbox. So I've added some tasks and I can just tick them off when they're complete. Bulleted lists and number lists are as standard. So it's as you would usually create a bulleted list or a numbered list. The divider is really nice to kind of separate different pieces of work on one workspace. Then if we look at some of the templates, so task list creates more of a formatted piece. So it gives you a title, which you can then edit. You can then put your tasks in here, and then you can add assignees. So you can assign tasks to people even if they aren't on your workspace, and you can select a due date for them as well. Next up, we have a voting table. So again, very similar. You can get people to write their ideas, add pros and cons, and then people can actually vote on the ideas they like. So that's quite a handy one. The progress tracker template. So you can add some notes here. Again, an assignee option. You can put progress and you can edit all of these as well. So you can say it's completed or in progress. You can add end dates and so on. And also you can edit all of these templates as well. So if you don't need a column, you can delete it, you can rename it, whatever you would like to do to make it work for you. Below templates, we have the communication options. So you can put the / and then select person. And then you can tag someone to type, or alternatively, you can just type that symbol and you'll be able to tag files and people too. The emoji picker is a way to insert emojis. The date option just allows you to insert a date. The label option gives you a selection of label groups, so you can have priority status or progress status, or you can add your own label groups too. And then lastly, image, and this just allows you to insert an image into your workspace. So if I scroll back to the top and go to the original piece of copy that I typed in here, you'll see that when I highlighted it, there's a bunch of formatting options. So I could type my text out and then format it. 2 other things to note on pages. So you can pick up and move any of your content around on the page using these drag and drop dots. So you can see I've picked up this piece of content and I've just moved it further down here. And then this little speech bubble icon allows you to either react to a piece of content or comment on it. Now, before I move on from Workspaces, I showed you earlier that you can add multiple pages within a workspace. You may have spotted that you can also add links. This is for both websites and documents within SharePoint. You can see the option for links. You can give it a display name, and then you can paste your link in there and click Add. So this website link will appear as a new page. If I click on it though, it will open in a new tab. And as mentioned, you can also add file links. So the way you would do that would be to go into your files, right click on the document you want, and then generate a share link. So if we copy that and go back to our loop, we can just paste that in there, give it a title and press add. So you can see that's now appeared here, and you can add Word documents, PowerPoint, Excel, and then when you click to open them, it will open it in the web versions. So creating a collaborative workspace couldn't be simpler. You've got so many great tools to use in one place. It's almost like mashing Word, Excel, Planner, OneNote, etc. into one actually quite nice looking space where you can work really easily with others. And speaking of, I mentioned that you can tag someone in a workspace, but let's look more about sharing workspaces. So right at the top here in the middle, you can see my face. That's because I'm the only member of this workspace and I also have this file open. If others were using the workspace, their pictures would also appear alongside mine and you could hover over to see their workspace status. Over to the right here, we have shared locations. This is the locations of the page within Workspaces. So you can actually add a page to multiple workspaces if you want to. Next, we have the share as a loop component option. So we do have another video showing loop components, which I'll link in the description. But essentially, if I click on this, it will generate a share link to share the page as a loop component. So I can copy this. I can open an Outlook email. And then I can paste my workspace in an email and it shows exactly how it does on loop. And better still, the recipient can just edit the page within the email. And you can also copy and paste these into Teams as well. You then have the share button, and this link is different as it will remain as a link and it will open the loop for the recipient in their browser rather than just showing them the entire loop component. So you can share the entire workspace. There's also the option to do a page link, so that will just take you to this meeting notes page. And again, there's also this loop component option under the share button. Another thing to note on this, earlier you may have spotted when I right click on page content, the share options are also available here. So if I use the share functions at the top of the page, it'll share the entire page or the entire workspace. However, if I highlight a specific part of my page, right click and create loop component. So this is now highlighted as a section that I can share. And if I use this to copy the link to the component and paste this in an Outlook email or a Teams message, it will only share that specific part. So again, this is really useful if you just want someone's input on a very small section of your page. Back up to the top right, you then have these three dots. Here you can see the version history of your page, so any changes made are recorded. And below this, there's the option to delete your workspace. You also have some settings. So there is a light and a dark mode for loop. There's also this experiments section. And this lets you see and enable some test features that are being rolled out. Right now we're seeing AI features here as that'll be the next big thing for Loop. If you haven't heard of Copilot before, that is Microsoft's AI assistant, which is coming soon. And lastly, very top right corner, you'll see your face, and this just allows you to sign out of Loop. So that is our look into Loop so far and how to use it. I'm personally excited to see how it develops and hopefully grows to integrate with the other Office products. But thank you for watching.